You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your PMP certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. Audio learning works especially well for situational reasoning because spoken vignettes and think time mimic the exam environment. Consistency beats intensity, meaning small daily repetitions build better retention than rare long sessions. Audio learning reduces context switching by letting you study while commuting or doing routine tasks, fitting into a busy schedule. The goal is to build reflexes for choosing the best next action when faced with exam stems. Active recall without a screen requires deliberate technique. First, listen through an episode once, then re-listen with planned pause points to test yourself. Before you hit play, set a mini objective, such as listening for a concept or artifact. After each section, restate the key idea in your own words to confirm understanding. End by forming one if this then that heuristic to tie knowledge to an actionable rule. Spaced repetition keeps knowledge alive if used correctly. Schedule a second and third pass through content at increasing intervals, such as 1 day, then 3 days, then 1 week. Tag episodes or segments where you struggled for more frequent review. Maintain a short trouble list of problem items and cycle it every other day for reinforcement. Retire items that are consistently easy to free time for the harder ones. One-page notes should be focused and decision-ready. Divide the page into 4 zones: terms, artifacts, heuristics, and open questions. Capture only what helps you make decisions on the exam, not full transcripts or long paragraphs. Mark items you plan to test yourself on during your next commute to create active recall loops. Keep a single running page per domain so you can see patterns emerge as you progress. Commute-friendly drills make audio practice active rather than passive. Use 5 to 10 seconds of think time after hearing a question or term to practice recall. Speak your answer aloud because hearing yourself improves commitment and memory. If you are unsure, mark it with your voice or jot a quick note for later revisit. End each commute with a 60-second recap of 3 takeaways to reinforce memory before moving on. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Audio-first learning works because situational reasoning is trained most effectively through spoken vignettes paired with intentional think time. When you hear a scenario and pause to decide on an answer, you are rehearsing the exact kind of decision-making required on the exam. The science of retention shows that consistency outweighs intensity, so small daily repetitions create stronger memory than rare marathon sessions. By weaving study into an audio habit, you reduce the mental cost of switching tasks and make use of moments that would otherwise be idle. The ultimate goal of an audio-driven approach is to build reliable reflexes for choosing the best next action in any exam situation. Active recall without a screen requires structure to be effective. The first step is to listen through a full segment without interruption, then re-listen with deliberate pause points inserted. Before pressing play, set a mini objective such as listening for 1 artifact, 1 heuristic, or 1 term. At the end of a section, restate the central idea aloud in your own words, testing whether the concept has truly registered. Conclude with a single if this, then that rule, which connects knowledge to action and makes recall easier under time pressure. Each loop of listen, pause, restate, and rule building turns audio into a complete learning cycle. Spaced repetition ensures you do not forget what you worked hard to learn. Instead of constant re-listening, schedule the second and third passes at expanding intervals, such as 1 day, then 3 days, then 1 week. During these passes, tag episodes or timestamps that you struggled with so they can be reviewed more frequently. Maintain a short trouble list of items or terms you repeatedly miss, and cycle them every other day for reinforcement. When certain items become consistently easy, retire them to free up attention for more difficult areas, ensuring your time is always spent on what matters most. One-page notes create a compact but powerful tool to reinforce audio learning. Divide the page into 4 quadrants labeled terms, artifacts, heuristics, and open questions. Capture only what directly supports exam decision-making, avoiding the trap of writing full transcripts. Mark items on your notes that you will test yourself on during your next commute. Creating natural recall drills. By keeping 1 page per domain, you build a visual map of connections, making it easier to see patterns, such as how risk management actions differ between predictive and agile modes. This running page becomes both a study tracker and a retrieval device. Commute-friendly drills transform passive listening into active training. After hearing a key term or scenario, pause for 5 to 10 seconds to give yourself deliberate think time. Speak your answer aloud, because the physical act of saying it out loud increases retention and accountability. If you are unsure, mark it with your voice, such as saying ? Or note it quickly for follow-up. At the end of each commute, run a 1-minute recap by naming 3 takeaways from that session. These micro-recaps strengthen recall by closing the loop before you move on to the next task in your day. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Error taxonomy and review loops give you a framework to learn from mistakes instead of repeating them. Each miss should be classified into one of 4 categories: knowledge gap, process misunderstanding, rushing, or misreading. For each type, define a matching fix, such as glossary review for knowledge, flow step mapping for process, pacing adjustment for rushing, or reading cue practice for misreads. The goal is to re-answer the question with a shorter, clearer rationale on the second try. Tracking your improvement by type, not just by raw score, helps you pinpoint weaknesses and measure whether the fixes are working. Flashcards are a classic method, but audio learners should adapt them into spoken cues. Create audio flashcards with a simple pattern: term, definition, and 1 short example. Mix formula prompts with practical cues, such as what do you compute first when estimating effort? Shuffle the cards often so that recall is based on retrieval strength and not position order. Keep each set small, usually 10 to 15 cards, and rotate them frequently to stay fresh. This combination of brevity, variety, and repetition makes audio flashcards a strong supplement to commute learning. A week-by-week cadence keeps your system predictable and balanced. 1 strong model is 2 content days, 2 drill days, 1 scenario lab, and 1 review day. Use the review day to update and refine your trouble list, ensuring problem items do not linger. End the week with a short time trial using a small set of questions under exam timing to keep pacing sharp. Adjust the focus of the following week based on your missed taxonomy, targeting knowledge gaps or reading errors before they build up. This rhythm makes progress measurable and sustainable. Protecting energy and focus is as important as mastering content. Shorter daily study sessions of 30 to 40 minutes often outperform long weekend marathons by reducing fatigue and improving recall. Sleep, hydration, and micro breaks directly influence how well you retain information. Reduce cognitive drag by setting up a quiet environment and a predictable routine so your brain knows when to engage. Celebrate small wins such as completing a trouble list cycle or nailing a time trial to maintain momentum and avoid burnout. Finally, customization ensures the study system fits your background and strengths. If you are technically strong, allocate more time to people and business environment domains where soft skills matter. If agile methods are new, add 1 short agile segment daily to close the gap. If your reading speed is slower, increase repetition of audio segments and simplify your notes for clarity. Close by writing down a simple daily commitment of when, where, and how you will study, making the plan concrete and repeatable. This personal contract reinforces consistency and ensures steady preparation toward the certification. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.